Everyone, welcome back to art class. I'm excited to have all of you with me. Today we're going to make a bowl out of magazines. I know it sounds a little crazy, but they come out so cute and adorable. So let's get started and figure out what we're going to need for supplies today. So supplies for our magazine bowl are going to be, oh my goodness, magazines. Imagine that, right? All right, and then we're going to need scissors. Make sure that if you're smaller, maybe in elementary school, you use ones with rounded edges so we don't have any accidents. Gonna need to have some white glue and then some paint brushes. I'm gonna use two different sizes. I'm gonna use this when we make our magazine pieces, and I'm gonna use the larger one for at the end of the project when we glaze the entire bowl. Then you're gonna need some tape and a bowl and something to stir with, because we're going to make our own Mod Podge with the white glue. So that means we're going to need some water as well. And then I also have a paper towel. In case I get some glue in my hands, I can wipe it off a little bit easier. And that is all we're going to need for supplies today. So let's get started. So first off, what we're going to do, and this is going to take a little bit of time. So I'm going to make a few of them here with you on the video. And then you're going to hit pause. And then you're going to finish making all of your strips. And then when you get all your strips made, then you're going to go ahead and hit play. I'll make a few with you, but this is a little bit time consuming. So the video will be way too long if I sit and make all of them with you. But I will make quite a few with you just so that you get the hang of it, okay? All right, so first what we're going to do is we are going to make these kind of strips that we're going to use for our bowl. So when we make our strips, when we finish making them all, we're going to need about 50 to 60 strips. I know that sounds like a lot, but if you think about it, it's only 25 or 30 pages out of your magazine, because we're going to cut them in half so you get 2 out of 1 page. All right? So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to look in your magazines, and you're going to want colorful pages. So something colorful, maybe like that. So very carefully rip your page out so that you don't want it to rip inside here. You want it to stay as straight as possible. Okay, so we have our page that we just ripped out. So we are going to rip out 25 pages. They don't always rip out super easy, but I'm pretty sure you're going to get the hang of it. Ooh, look at this pretty one. Yes. Ooh, goodness, there's lots of pretty ones on both sides. So what has everybody been doing? Have you been able to get outside and get some fresh air, maybe in the backyard? You know, you can't go to the parks and you can't go a lot of places, but hopefully you've been able to get out and do something maybe in the backyard, maybe help with some yard work, maybe rake up some of those leaves from wintertime. Plant some pretty flowers. How's everyone's pages coming along? I am almost done. If I get done before you, then remember, just hit pause and then finish taking out your pages. And then you'll hit play so you can see what we're going to do with those pages when we're done. I think I have 25. There's my stack. How's your stack looking? So, if you're not ready yet, go ahead and hit pause. Finish making your stack of pages, I should say. And then hit play, and then you're going to see what we're going to do with them. Now it's time to do something with all these pages we just pulled out. So what we're going to do first is we're going to take just one sheet, okay? We're going to fold it over in half like this. All right, so we're going to fold it in half. Just bring your edges. You're going to have a jaggy edge, the piece that came out of the book, and that's okay. Just bring your other side over to it, and then we're going to make a crease just like that. Now we're going to take our scissors and we're going to cut it right down with that where we just made that crease. We're going to cut that. So we're going to make one page and we're going to make two pieces out of that one page. That's why you only needed 25 pages, because 25 times 2 is, you got it, 50. So now we have two pieces. I'm going to take one of the pieces that we just cut, okay? The very colorful side that you have, put that side down on your table. So that's going to be what shows at the end. So you want the real pretty colorful side down facing on your table. Now what we're going to do is we're going to fold it in half and bring it over to the other side again and make another crease like we just did, but when we cut it, we're not cutting this one. So we have this. Then we're going to take this side and we're going to bring it to the inside. Where you, that crease that you made, that you just folded, bring that outside edge into that crease. And then just take your finger and make another crease. So now you have this. So you've got your middle crease here that you made first. We folded it over, so now you have a second crease. We're going to fold this side over now into the middle. And crease it down. So now we have our center crease, which is right here that we made first. Then we folded it and made this one, folded this side and made this one. So now we have this. And your center pieces should be fairly close together. Just like that. Now take this side and you're going to fold it into the middle again. And crease it down. Just like that. And then this side, you're going to do the same thing. Bring this side in into the middle and then make another crease. So you end up with this. Now we're going to put some glue down. So you're going to take your glue. You're going to put a very thin line of glue, not very thin because you don't want too much. Right down, only on one side, okay? So only on one side. I put it on this one, so do not put it on that one. And this is why I said the small brush. I take it and I'm going to spread the glue out across that little strip. Just the one strip that you put the glue on. Just kind of spread the glue across from it so that it's all across. And then we're going to take the side that does not have glue and fold it over on the top of it. Just like that. Make sure your edges are nice and even. Crease it down. Take your fingers and just bring it across, kind of pushing it together. And there you have it. There you have a strip. We're going to take our second piece, the other half of the first one, and we're going to put it pretty side down, and we're going to fold it in half. Now this one's might have a jagged edge, and that's okay. So once you fold it in half and crease it, we're going to do the same thing we did on the first one, and we're going to bring this side into the middle and crease it down. And then we're going to bring this side into the middle. This side may have your jaggies on it. You can see on here, on my jagged edge, this side's a little bit higher than this side. So I want to bring this side and match it to my center crease. So I'm going to put that into my center crease and then crease it down. And you can see that the crease is right here, but the jag doesn't go to it, but it does up here. And that's all going to get hidden, so that's how you want it to be. So now you've got that. Now we're going to fold this side in again into the center and crease it down. And then we're going to take this side and bring it into the center and make another crease. Getting the hang of it now? It's pretty easy. So then we end up with that. And then we're going to take our glue and we're going to put glue only on one side. Real thin line. Don't need much. You don't want it to come pouring out the edges. I use the brush and then I just kind of make it so it goes on all of the paper. And then I'm going to fold this top over. Push it down tight. Just like that. And now our one whole page has turned into 2 strips. Think you got it? I'm going to make a few more with you. And then we're all going to kind of do all of them on our own. And then when we're done, then we'll get back together. So let's get a few more made together just to make sure you have the hang. We have our full page. We're going to fold it over. And crease it down the middle. Just like that. And then we're going to cut down where we just made that crease. Cut right along the crease. Remember, be careful with your scissors. Alright, so then I have 2 pieces. I'm going to take one of these pieces. I'm going to take the pretty, colorful side face down on my table. And I'm going to fold it over. Then I'm going to fold this side in. This is my jaggy edge, so I'm going to take the edge that has more, that's further in. I'm going to make sure that that's the one that goes closest to my crease. You can see right here, that edge is by my crease, and this one's really far away. But the edges are even because right here and right here are against the edge. We're going to take the other side and bring it into the crease. Just like that. Then we're going to bring this and we're going to bring it to the center again. And crease it down. And the same thing on this side. I'm going to put a strip of glue on here. And then I'm going to spread it out. And then I'm going to fold the other side right over on top of it. Just like that. And we're going to push it down nice and tight. And there we go. And then we're going to do the other side. So I'm going to pick my pretty side, my nice one. See how pretty this comes out? Nice and different colors. So I'm going to take what I think is my pretty side and put it down. And we're going to fold it over. Open it up. Bring this side into the middle where you just made your crease. And bring your other side into the middle. Then we're going to do it one more time. Bring that into the middle. And then our other side into the middle. So you have that. And then we're going to put glue only on one side. Spread it out. And fold it over. Press it down. And there you have it. Think you have the hang of it, or do you want me to do a couple more with you? All right, let's do one more page together, and then we'll all kind of go do our own strips, and then we'll get back together after that. So we're going to do one more page together just to make sure that you got it. I have my full sheet, and I'm going to fold it in half. And then I'm going to cut along that crease. And take one of them. I'm going to put the pretty side down and then fold it in half. And I'm going to bring this side and bring it into the middle. And bring this side into the middle. And then I'm going to bring this into the middle again. And this side into the middle again. Press it down. And we're going to put glue down one side only. Oops. Spread our glue around. And fold over. Press it down. And there you go. All right, so everybody's got it? Got it all figured out, right? All right, so let's everybody make our strips. Remember, we need like 50 of them. So you should have 25 sheets. Cut them in half. That gives you 50, right? So it's 25 times 2 is 50. All right, and then once you get them all done, then go ahead and hit play, and we will be right back together. Did everyone get all their strips made? It wasn't that bad, was it? A little messy. Got a little bit of glue on our hands. Just go wash them off with some soap and water. We have to wash our hands a lot now anyway with this virus, so it's just one more washing in the day. Now, before we start on our next step, I think it'd be a great idea if we all cleaned up our areas. If you used a brush on your glue, go get that washed off with some warm soap and water. Do it while you're washing your hands. That way the glue doesn't get stuck onto the bristles and it's really hard to get off after that. That way you still have your paintbrush for another project that we might do, okay? So let's get our paintbrushes cleaned up, get the glue cleaned, get our surfaces all wiped down, and then we will start on the next step. Now we're going to put our strips together. We're going to put them together in rows of 10. So we're going to put 10 strips together and then another 10 strips together. Now I'm going to show you what I did with mine. I broke my strips down into color groups because I want to kind of have my bowl. So I've got my whites on the bottom, and then it kind of goes up to the beigey pinks, and then I've got yellow, blue, and then the red on the top. You can do it any way you want. You can do it so that it's, color coordinated like that. or you can just pick up any one you want and it just be a random different colors all over. They're always beautiful no matter how you do them. So I'm going to show you how my piles look. You can decide how you're going to do yours, because you need to do that before we do our next step. Okay, so I broke my piles down. I've got like whites, and then I've got pink and beige and some yellows. I've got kind of blue and greens, and then my reds. Now we need our tape. We're going to cut it into small pieces, so you can just maybe about that long. Take it off the dispenser and just put both your fingers right on the middle and then just tear it in half. So you're going to have 2 pieces out of 1. And then I like to just put mine right on the side of the edge of the table so that it's still sticking out. So when I get ready to need one, I can just grab it right off. So we're going to need a lot of these because we've got 50 pieces to put together, right? So let's just get to making these little strips, and it's way easier to do them all ahead of time than trying to do it when you're making the project, because we have to take these pieces of these strips and we're going to coil them together to make the bowl. But you have to be really careful that it doesn't uncoil while you're doing it. So the more prep you have and the more things you have ready to just grab makes it a lot easier. Otherwise, if it uncoils, then we have to start back from scratch. So, and it does happen. It might happen to me while I'm doing it with you today. I'm not sure. So don't get upset if it does uncoil. All we do is just recoil it. Is everyone getting the hang of the tape? Are you running out of table room to put your tape on? Because I am. Did everyone get your spaces cleaned up before you started this step? We went for a little walk earlier today. It was kind of chilly out, but the sun's shining, so we went for a little bit of a walk, which was nice. Nice to get out in the fresh air. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 of these. Now, if you're not ready yet and you're still doing your tape, what do you do? Hit pause, finish getting all your tape together, and then hit play, okay? So now we're going to take 2 pieces and we're going to put them together. Now remember, one side has a crease, has the fold like this, and the other one has the crease where we put them together and we glued them, right? So when you put all your pieces together, you want to make sure that when you butt them together that the edges are the same. So if you have the 2 like this, where they both have the opening just like that, and this sides are both folds, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take them, we're going to butt them together. We're going to butt them together just like this. And we're going to put one of our pieces of tape over it. Now, if you look like you're running out of tape, all you got to do is just kind of take a little break and make some more tape pieces, okay? And I'm going to take another one, and I'm going to take it, and I'm going to butt the two ends together just like that. And then I'm going to put a piece of tape over them. And remember, I see I've got the creases on the same sides. All right. And we're just going to keep doing that until we get all of them all of our big strips put together. I'm going to make a few more tape pieces for myself. And while I do that, I kind of wanted to talk to you about recycling. Did anybody really think about what we're doing today? We're recycling. We took something that was going to go into the trash. We took a magazine and we recycled part of it into some really fun and cool art instead of going to the store and buying something. And it gave us something to do, and it let us get creative. The earth is huge, and you know how like you and I, we go to the doctors and we go get a checkup and everything's good. Well, the earth needs a checkup sometimes too. And the earth is so humongous, and sometimes we feel like we're just a really, really small part of that. But when we all feel that way and you add up all that, then we all add up into being actually something really huge, and we can make a difference. So just some things that maybe we could do around the house that would help make a difference with things is when you leave a room, make sure you turn your lights off. Be conservative, save energy. Don't waste water. And kind of a fun way that you can try, that you can see how much water you actually use that you think is not a big deal. So tonight when you go brush your teeth, or in the morning, whenever your next brushing is, put a bowl underneath underneath the faucet and brush your teeth normal, and then look how much water is in that bowl and how much how much it took for you to brush your teeth. Then the next time, either the next morning or in the evening, when you brush your teeth the next time, each time that you're not running your brush under the water, turn the water off. Still keep a bowl under there, but turn the water off. And when you get done, look and see the difference of how much you ran the water the first time, and then by shutting off the faucet, how little water you actually used to brush your teeth. Those are things we can do. We can conserve water. We can conserve energy by turning off lights. Reuse things. Instead of using baggies, reuse a plastic container with a lid on it. There's so many things that we can do that can help our planet. You can just don't throw trash on the ground. You need to make sure that if you drop something on the ground, that you pick it up and you throw it away. Now, you know how each of us, normally, we at home, we have a blue recycle bin, and then we usually have like a black or green or whatever color your city has for regular trash. How about we all start trying to utilize that and put everything that's recyclable inside that recycle bin? Now, I understand there's a lot of controversy of, everything we put in for recycle everything doesn't get recycled. And that is very true. Everything does not get recycled because some things aren't able to be recycled. But the more we try and we do our part, the better off we can help make this planet. So let's all try that and try to be a little bit more conservative and try to recycle and reuse. Okay, so we can save our planet. April is in April is Earth Day. So when Earth Day comes, we're going to have a really fun little Earth Day project that's going to focus around the planet and the Earth and how we can do things to help better it. So hopefully you'll join us for that. So I've got my other strips. I'm going to start another color and start another strip of colors here. So a little bit of science, I guess, in our little art class about recycling. And that's not a bad thing. We can all learn to be better people for our planet. So how are your strips coming? Everyone's getting the groove of it? Getting them all put together? I know, can't wait till we actually start making it, right? You're probably wondering, when is this going to happen? Very soon. I know I'm pretty close to getting mine together. How about you guys? How are your piles looking? Are they getting pretty dwindled down? I got all kinds of strips going on over here. How about you? Oh, and guess what else we're going to be doing? I think it'll be probably the end of next week. Oh, I'm sorry. Probably the end of this week coming up that we'll make them. But we're going to do some Easter stuff too. So that will be super fun. It's really hard right now for your parents to go out there and get you some Easter baskets and all that. But we can make things. We can make some of that stuff with things we have around the house. Recycle what we have. So we'll be doing some Easter projects too. I am almost done. I have too many more pieces left. How many pieces do you guys have? Yeah, I've only got, what, 3 more pieces to butt together and put together. You guys almost finished with yours? It looks like well, there's a piece. I'm almost out of strips. I might have to cut one more piece. If you're still taping your pieces to your strips together, it's okay. Remember, just hit pause. And when you're done putting them together, then you're just going to go ahead and hit play, and you'll pick right back up. Now, once you get these together, if you did like 10 different strips, you're still going to need some more pieces of tape because we're going to have to put them together as we're coiling. And those you definitely want to have put together in the beginning. Okay? So I've got all mine together. Now I'm just going to cut some more little pieces so I have them ready for when we start coiling in just a minute. So now I've got mine broken into 3 big strips. Okay? So I've got my whites and my grays and my real light colors, and I've got my yellows and then my blue, green, and my reds. Okay? So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this end where you're going to start, and this is going to be the base of your bowl, and you're going to just fold it over very small. And then you're going to just keep folding it, and you're going to coil it together. You're just going to keep wrapping it real tight. You want to make sure it's tight. And you're just going to keep coiling. You know, see how that slipped out of my finger? Gotta start and make sure that it's nice and tight. So you want to hold it nice and good so that it doesn't uncoil on you, because then you'll have to recoil it. But if you do, it's not a problem. Just recoil it and keep on going, okay? So that's what we're doing. Doing a big coil. See? You're just going to keep wrapping it around nice and tight all the way around. Just keep doing that. It's going to get big. Okay, mine just came apart. It's okay. But what you have to do if it does is hold what you have coiled, hold it nice and tight. So it makes it a little bit harder, but I'm going to hold it real tight. I'm going to show you here. I'm going to hold it with this one. I'm going to pick one up, grab one of my pieces of tape that I had. And I'm just going to join them back together just like that and wrap it back around. All mended. Okay, so we're just going to keep rolling and rolling See? And you think, oh my goodness, how's this tape going to hold this together? Well, the tape is only holding it together temporarily, because when we get it all done, that's when we're going to use our glue and water, make our own Mod Podge, and that's what's really going to hold it together. So have you decided what you're going to use your bowl for? I haven't quite decided yet. I actually might use mine as a fruit bowl. We'll have to see how big it comes out. Okay, so I'm coming to the end of my first strip. If you haven't got to this point, to the end of your first strip yet, then hit pause. And when you get there, hold it real tight with one hand and hit play with the other hand. And I'll be right here waiting on you. We're at the end of our first strip. Now we have to connect our next strip together onto it. So know how we, now the one thing to remember is where you have your crease. When you attach your next one, make sure you have your creases on the same edges and your folds on the same. Now remember when we had to do the mending, and it's going to be the same thing. We're going to have to hold it real tight, and then we're going to put these together. So you're going to want to get one of your pieces of tape. Hold it real tight with one hand, and then put it on there. This might take some, if your hands are small or you're not really, or you're kind of not able to do it, maybe ask a brother or sister if they can help you. Get them joined together. And then just make sure that you pull it tight. And you just keep rolling and wrapping. Just like that. When you get ready to join your strips together, you might need an extra hand. But I'm sure there's somebody around the house who can come and either put the tape across for you or hold your coiled up. You want to make sure that these stay pretty tight. And it might be easier, instead of holding it, you can also wrap it around like this. That might be easier for you. And see how mine got kind of loose right there? I'm going to actually unwrap it a little bit where it started getting loose and rewrap so that it stays nice and tight. Okay, this piece came off, and that's okay. Just remember that you keep your creases on the same way. Yeah, I have a hard time too. I'm going to hold it with my arm. I don't think mine's going to be big enough for a fruit bowl. You can make a fruit bowl if you wanted to do more than what we're doing, but the one we're going to make today is not going to be quite big enough for that. But I bet it'll be a cool bowl, maybe to put some keys in at the front door. Or maybe to put on your desk in your room to hold some of your items. Alright, so I'm at the end of the coil again. So now I'm going to take this end, find my blue end. One end's blue and one end's red. There's my blue end. Oh, fell on the floor. And then I'm just going to connect them again. Just like that. I'm going to butt them up and connect them. How's your coiling coming? Is it kind of looking like that? Okay, so if it starts to get loose, you can kind of take and hold in your hand, like right here where I have two pieces joined, hold that in your hand. Kind of hold the center and kind of just wrap it tighter. You pull it a little bit. Don't pull it too hard because you don't want your pieces to come apart. I'm going to hold it right here where I have two pieces. And I'm just going to kind of hold the center and then wrap it a little bit tighter. You want it to be pretty tight because when we get done, we have to form it into a bowl. And you'll see how, but that's why you're going to want it to be tight and not real loose, okay? Alright, and I am getting to the end. So I'm going to take it right here. I'm going to hold my center and then I'm going to go to my next joiner right here. Okay, pull it again. Get nice and tight. And I'm at the end. So now I'm going to do it one more time just so I can make sure it's as tight as I can get it. I'm going to hold this, and I'm going to kind of just pull it. And then I'm going to take it, and I'm going to take a piece of tape, and I'm going to tape that one on there. Just like that. And then I have a coil. Does yours look like that? I bet it looks awesome. And it's pretty tight. And I can do this and it doesn't move. And that's what you want. Okay? So, keep coiling if you aren't done. And then just hit pause and keep on coiling. And when you're done, hit play and we'll all join back in. Alright, so this is the super fun part. This is the neat part. This is how we're going to make our bowl. So you're going to take your thumb and you're going to put it right there in the middle. And then take your other thumb and put it like that. You're going to very carefully, very, very carefully push Yeah, this is not big enough for a fruit bowl. But it'll be pretty cool for like some keys or like little knickknacks. and you're going to push it very carefully. Make sure it's kind of even. And there you have a bowl. Is that not cool? That's pretty neat. All out of a magazine. And then you're going to want to make sure it sits nice and flat. So you want to make sure that your bottom is there so that when it sits down, it's nice and even. Just like that. Now, what we want to do, because if you leave it just like this, it's going to end up kind of falling apart because it's just kind of pushed and accordioned out into a bowl. So now we're going to make some Mod Podge. Now, they sell Mod Podge, and maybe you've got that at home. And if you do, that's great. You can just use Mod Podge. That works. Or you can be like us, and you can make your own. All right? So that's what we needed our bowl for, and our spoon. So you have your bowl and your spoon. You're going to take your glue. You're going to need a decent amount because the paper is going to absorb it. But what I like to say is make small batches, and you can always make more. Because if you make it too much and then we don't need it, then really you've wasted a lot of glue. And we always need glue for projects. So you want to save onto that glue, especially right now because it's moms, dads, grandmas, grandpas, whoever it is that you're staying with. They don't always get to go out to the stores anymore because a lot of us are in stay-at-home orders. We can go for groceries, but we can't just run to Walmart. We can't just run to the craft store like we're used to doing. So we have to be conservative. So make small batches, and you can always make a little bit more if you need to. So I've got some glue, and I'm making a very small batch. And then I have my water. And you're going to want to put this in a little bit at a time because you want it to be fairly thick. So I'm just going to put a little bit of water, and then we're going to stir it up. Mix it up really good into your glue. You want it to be mixed really good. And you want it to be fairly thick. It's going to dry clear. Now, if you were with us when we made tissue paper art, we made pen and pencil holders, we made it a little bit thinner. Today's going to be just a tad, little bit thicker than it was then. So you see that? Can you kind of see that consistency? That's kind of what you want, all right? So it's thinner than regular glue, but it's not real watery. All right, so that's that. And then we need our brush. I'm going to use this brush. You know, maybe you have a foam brush. Maybe you only have like small artist paint brushes like from a watercolor kit or something. That'll work too. Another thing that will work, maybe you have an old sponge laying around. You can cut that sponge into a small piece and you can sponge it on too. And then what we're going to do, you're going to hold this very carefully. On the inside, we're going to just paint our glue onto the inside. Now this is going to take probably a day or so to dry really hard. You want to make sure it's dried real hard. So I'm just painting it onto the inside. And you want to make sure you get everything really, really good. Make sure you get that top rim too, because you want that glue to get in between there. And I'm making sure I get right along that rim as well. So my inside is all got glue. And then We're going to find something that I'm just going to use like a paint bottle to put it on like that so that the inside can kind of dry and I can get the outside painted. Got to be careful. And this is what's going to hold it all together. So our tape was just temporary to get it all coiled up. And this is what's going to hold it together. Now once the paint dries, you can leave it just like this and it will be fine. Or you can take like a clear varnish that's like a clear varnish spray, and you can spray on it so that it's shiny. You do not have to do that step. It will all stay together like this. It will just help preserve it a little bit better if you do the varnish, but you do not have to if you don't have it. And if it's a spray can, I would like for you to make sure you get with an adult. Make sure they know that that's what you're doing. They may want to watch and observe or help. All right. Now, when this dries, I like to put 2 coats on. So it might take like a day to dry. And when it does, then I'm going to go and I'm going to put another coat on it. All right, so there we have our bowl recycled out of magazine pages. Would you ever have thought that would have come out so cool? That's really neat, right? So, if you wanted to make a bigger one, you just have to do a lot more strips. And there you go. Now, this only has 1 coat of the glue mixture on it. When it dries really, really good, I'm going to put a 2nd coat of the glue mixture on it, inside and out, and you should be good to go. I'm so proud of you guys. You guys did awesome. All right, so make sure that you get your schoolwork done. You still have to do that. Get some fresh air, go out for some walks, and read a book. Maybe if you get really bored and don't have anything to do, maybe go grab one of your favorite books and read for a little bit. That's always a good thing to do. It's a little getaway. And until next time, bye-bye.